Moving on, let's discuss definition of inverse tangent. Okay, so these are the graph of inverse tangent. Is a bit unique because we have asymptote along the way of pi over 2, negative pi over 2, and so on. Okay, so definitely this is not one-to-one function because you have violated the horizontal line test. Okay, so in order to do that, we need to restrict domain again. So in this case, we don't need to find where should we restrict. We just follow the asymptote. So within this asymptote here, we just cut this part here. So this is it from minus pi over 2 until pi over 2. So if you take this part here, we'll definitely pass the horizontal line test. So now let's see your definition for restricted domain. Y equal to tangent x, the domain must be from negative pi over 2 until pi over 2. Be careful, you cannot touch. So this is not equal. You cannot touch because here we have the asymptotes, okay? And let's see for your range. Your range, this one is going to minus infinity, and up here is going to positive infinity. So your range will be from negative infinity until infinity. And also you cannot touch negative infinity until infinity. Let's see the reflected lines. So you just exchange x and y here and reflect about the line y equal to x. So this is your graph for inverse tangent. Let's see the definition. X is inverse tangent y. Let's see the domain for inverse tangent y. The domain for y, it must be from negative infinity until infinity. And for range from minus pi over 2 until pi over 2. Let's see the properties for inverse tangent. Inverse tangent composed with tangent x, you'll get the answer as x if you are within the domain. So let's check the domain you need to take care of. This is tangent. It must be from minus pi over 2 not included until pi over 2. How about for another one? Tangent composed inverse tangent x. This will be equal to x if the domain is within minus infinity until infinity. Okay, so take care of each of the domain. Now let's see a few examples here. The first one, we need to take care of inverse tangent 0. So as usual, if you see inverse tangent, straight away let y. Let y as inverse tangent 0. Okay, so now let's find tangent. Take the opposite side there. Tangent y will be equal to 0. And make sure your domain must be within negative pi over 2 until pi over 2 not included. So we need to take care of this y here. So what is the angle so that angle gets 0? So we know that the answer is 0. So straight away, we can take our answer 0. So we know that the answer is 0, therefore inverse tangent 0 will be equal to 0. Let's look at the second one, inverse tangent set 3. Okay, so let y as inverse tangent set 3. So let's go to the opposite side. Tangent y is set 3. Okay, so you need to take care of the domain. Make sure, as a precaution, write that your domain cannot exceed negative pi over 2 until pi over 2 only. So we need to take care of what is the angle so that tangent of the angle will get negative. So that angle of that tangent will get set 3. So the answer is pi over 3. Okay, so pi over 3 is within the domain given here. Therefore, we can just write your answer. Inverse tangent set 3 is equal to pi over 3. So you can take the answer inverse tangent set 3 is equal to pi over 3. Now, let's look at this question here. Inverse tangent of negative 1. Okay, so if this is involving negative, you know that things is a bit complicated. We need to consider other aspect as well. So first of all, let y as inverse tangent negative 1. Make sure your domain is within negative pi over 2 not included until pi over 2. Okay, what's the meaning of negative? Meaning that you are in the other quadrant, not in the first one. Okay, so let's check. You are allowed to be from minus pi over 2 until pi over 2. So you're allowed to be quadrant 1 and quadrant 4. So if that is negative, confirm you are in quadrant 4. Okay, so let's find the reference angle first without the negative. So inverse tangent of 1 will be pi over 4. So let's write here as pi over 4. So now let's read your angle there. So you cannot read like this because you cannot go through quadrant 2 and quadrant 3. Therefore, the only way for you to read this angle here is to find a negative angle. Okay, therefore we can read the angle as negative pi over 4. That is your answer. Inverse tangent negative 1 is negative pi over 4.